There's not much to do when all I can.
Guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much. My name is Special Joy, and on this channel I create content on pattern drafting and sewing tutorial. And in this video we'll be recreating this cowl neckline top that I'm wearing. This is the back and this is what the front looks like. So if you're interested in this kind of video, keep on watching and let's head over to my work table. For this tutorial, I'll be using this silk fabric. Is 1 yard of silk fabric. So I'm going to fold like this. So we are not doing the slash and spread method with this. I'm just going to open my fabric up and I'll fold in 12 inches. So I'll make sure that I folded 12 inches from the beginning of this fabric to the end. So I'm folding 12 inches because I want this fabric to serve as a lining for me also. So the distance from my shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches. I just added 2 inches to it so that it will cover my nipple. So that is why I am folding 12 inches. So after measuring to the end and I have 12 inches from the beginning to the end, I'm just going to fold my fabric over like this. So if you don't understand what I'm doing, just follow the step. I'll just fold my fabric like this into two, and this is what I have. So the part that the 12 inches that I folded is going to be my lining, and this folding is just for the front. So what I'll do is to take my shoulder measurement from the folded edge, half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch to it for stitching allowance. So I took 9 inches. So this top is a sleeveless top, so I'm going to be adding a long strap to it. So I'm going to deduct 5 inches from the measurement I have to get my bust point. So that 5 inches is going to serve as the strap. So from that point I'll measure 10 inches, which is the distance from my shoulder to my bust point. On the bust line, I'll take my bust circumference divided by 4, and I'm going to add 2 inches for stitching allowance. And from that point I'm going to connect my armhole. So my armhole is going to be a slant. That's from my shoulder point to the bust line, just like you see me doing. And to get my top length, I'm going to deduct the 5 inches just like I did earlier, and I'm going to take the measurements of my top, how long I want my top to be. And on the top length, I'm going to take my waist circumference divided by 4, and then I'll also add 2 inches just like I did for the bust point. The 2 inches is for stitching allowance and ease. So I'm just going to connect from the bust point to meet the waistline like this. After doing that, I'll go ahead and cut what I have. So after cutting, I'll open it up for you guys to see. So this is it. This is how my lining is going to fold on the main top. This is what it looks like, and this is how the cowl neckline is going to fall. So what I'll do next is to notch the middle point of the lining and the main top. So that's the point where I'm going to be adding my strap. So I'm just going to notch it so that I'll not make any mistake when I want to add my strap to the top. So at this point I realized that the length of my top is too much. So I'm going to reduce the length. I don't want it to be too small and I don't want it to be too big either. So I'm going to take out my 5 inches and I'll take the measurements I want for the top, which is 22 inches. Yeah, so I'm going to trim the excess fabric out. So we are done with the front pattern of this top. So we are going to work on the back pattern of this top. So the length of the front and the back for me is not going to be the same. So I'm going to measure. The back is going to start from the armhole of the front. So I'll measure what I have, the distance from the armhole to my top length. I'll also measure what I have on my chest line, okay, which is 19 inches. And I'll also measure what I have on my waistline. So take notes. It depends on how you want your top to be. But for me, I want the back to be very low. The back should be lower than the front. So that is why I'm taking my measurement from the armhole area, and I'm still going to adjust the back also. So I took the measurement from my armhole to the top length. I took the measurement on the shoulder line, and I also took my waist measurement. Those are the measurements that I'm going to use to cut the back. So I have my fabric folded into two. I'm going to take the same measurement what I have on the waist. I'll take the distance from my armhole to the top length, and I'll also take my exact shoulder measurement without adding any stitching allowance. I've gone ahead to do that, and I'm just cutting out the excess fabric. Once I open it up, this is what I have for the back. And I went ahead to cut out my strap. The wideness is 1.5 inches, and the length is, I don't know, you can cut as long as you want, and you are just going to adjust it by the time you put on your top. Yeah, so I'm going to fold it over like this, and I'll run a straight stitch on it, and then I'll go ahead and turn it over to the right side. So I've gone ahead to sew my strap in place. I've turned one inside out, and this is the second one. I'll use my bobby pin to turn it inside out, and after doing that, we are going to sew our strap to the top. So these are my two straps. What I'll do is to open my fabric up like this. Right side is facing me. So the area that I notched earlier, which is the middle point of the main fabric and the lining, I'm going to place one strap on the notched area. So don't forget to notch. I'll place my strap on one of the notch like this, and I'll go ahead and pin it down. I'll repeat the same thing for the other notch on the other armhole area, and then I'm going to fold my fabric over. So I've gone ahead to fold my fabric over. What I'll do is to pin the armhole area together like this, and I'll go and sew. Once I sew and I open it up, this is what it's going to look like. So the strap, the rough edges is inside the lining. Yeah, so I'm going to sew the two armhole together like this. I'm done doing that. I'm going to open it up for you guys to see. So I'm going to turn my lining inside out like this, and this is what you have. You can see that everything is all nice and clean, and the cowl neckline is already, you can see the effect already. Yeah, so for the back, I'm going to fold it over like this, and I'm going to adjust the neckline. Like I said before, I want my back neckline to be very deep, so I'm going to come down on this folded edge by 2 inches, and then I'll connect to meet the other end in a slanted form like this. So you can leave it straight if you want, but this is what I want for the back neckline. So I'll go ahead and cut this out, and I'll open it up. Yeah, so I'll cut my facing for the back also. I'm going to place the back like this, right sides facing each other on another fabric, and I'll just trim out what I have. So after cutting, I'll go ahead and sew the facing to the main fabric, and I'll turn it inside out. I've gone ahead to sew my back piece to the facing, and I'll just turn it inside out, and yeah, this is what it looks like. The next step is to attach the front and the back piece together. So remember, the back is starting from the armhole of the front, so I'm just going to pin everything in place like this on the right side and on the wrong side, and I'll go ahead and run my stitch on the two like this. So after sewing it in place, this is what I have. So you can decide to just tie your strap to your neck and not sew it inside your back piece, and you can decide to do the step that I'm doing. So I'll measure 1 inch from my side seam on both sides, and then after the 1 inch, I'll just create a little space. So from what I sewed on the back, I'm going to create a little space to pass my strap from the front to make the back. I don't know if you understand, but just look at what I am doing. So I just opened a little channel for this rope to pass through to meet the back. After passing the rope through, I'll go ahead and pin and wear my top first to know whether it fits or not. So you can go ahead and adjust it. You pin, you wear till you feel more comfortable. That's when you are going to stitch. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down. I'll wear it. If it's okay, then I'll go ahead and stitch. Don't just stitch, wear it and make sure that it's comfortable. You are okay with the size of the strap, then you can go ahead and stitch it down and cut out the excess strap. So the last step is to hem the base of your top, and we are done with this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. If you don't understand anything, I'll be in the comment section. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll see you guys in the next one.